Hello, this is Mrs. Ross, and this is Lesson 4, Practice Set. We're going to be talking about number lines and sequences, and this is on page 31 of your Saxon Course 2 math textbook. Let's get started. Ooh. There we go. All right, it says for problems A through C, draw a number line and use arrows to represent addition and subtraction. Okay, first of all, full confession, I'm not a fan of this type of addition and subtraction at all, and we're probably not going to use it very much. If it works for you, I want you to use it, but if for the most part, most of my students think this is a pain and also don't understand it. So I'm going to show you how to do it, but if you don't use it, that's fine. So A says 4 plus 2, so I start at 0, I go to 4, right? Oops. Go to 4, and then it says plus 2, so plus is going to be this way, and minus is going to be that way, so I go 1, and then 1 more, which is to 6. So that is my answer, so this equals 6. Okay, I'm going to change colors and do the next one, which is 4 minus 2, so I always start at 0, I go to 4, so I'm here. I come up to wherever, and then I go 1, 2, and this is my answer. So that's going to be equal to 2, and then I have 2 minus 4, so let me change again. So I always start at 0 again, and I'm going to 2, which is right here, and then I know subtraction is that way, so I go 1, 2, 3, 4, and my answer is negative 2. Okay, again, if this is super confusing, don't worry. I'm not going to make you do this. If this makes a ton of sense, you're absolutely welcome to do it. And then it says arrange these numbers in order of least to greatest. Okay, so hold on just a second. I'm going to erase what we've done, and then we're going to use the number line to figure out least to greatest. Okay, so I'm back. And what I wanted to show you is that the numbers are greater the more to the right that we go, obviously, because 1 is greater than 0, 5 is greater than 2, and then it gets less. Okay, so 5 is less than, negative 5 is less than negative 1, negative 3 is less than 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at these. I have 0, which is right here. I have negative 1, negative 2, and negative 3. So the number that is the least is negative 3, then negative 2, then negative 1, then 0. And this is from least to greatest. Okay? E says use digits and other symbols to write the sum of 2 and 3 is less than the product of 2 and 3. So what I'm doing is I'm translating a English sentence into a mathematical sentence. So I know that sum is addition, 2 and 3, is less than, so this is less than, the product, which is multiply, of 2 and 3. So I have the sum, 2 plus 3, is less than the product of 2 times 3. And that's true. This is 5 and this is 6, so that makes sense. All right, let's change colors here. Replace each circle with a proper comparison symbol. Remember, our comparison symbols are equals, greater than, or less than. Greater than or less than. This is less than. Okay, so here I have 3 minus 4, which is negative 1, or 4 minus 3, which is 1. And I know that if I look at the number line, negative 1 is less than positive 1. Okay, over here I have 2 times 2, which is 4, and I have 2 plus 2, which is 4, so these are equals. And H says, what is the first step you take before comparing the expressions in F and G? I actually had to do the operations. I had to do the addition and subtraction and multiplication. All right, I, where is the origin on a number line? It's at 0. That's where you start everything, at 0. And you saw me do that on the other page. So you always start at the origin. J says simplify 436 minus 630. Now what we know is that we can do 630 minus 436, which is actually flipping the the order. And let's see, I get 4, I get, that's 5, that's 12, that's 9, and that's, so I get 194, but since I flipped the order, if I go back to this, it's going to be the negative or opposite. Okay. Okay, find the next 3 numbers in this sequence. So it says 3, 2, 1, so it looks like we're decreasing by 1. 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, because we're just decreasing by 1. And if you want to look at the, you can see that here. We start at 3 and go down. If you need to look at the number line. Last one, L, find the next 3 terms of this sequence. This is a classic Saxon sequence. And you'll see this several times. You'll see it at least a couple times on tests. You'll see it in the homework. So this is 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, 4 squared, 5 squared, 6 squared, 7 squared. Okay. So my next 3 terms are 8 squared, 9 squared, and 10 squared, which are 64, 81, and 100. I think that's it. Nope, it's not. Use words to describe the rule of the following sequence. So we're trying to say what is happening here. Then find the next 3 terms. So I have 2 parts. First, I use words to describe what the rule is, and then I find the next 3 terms. So let's see. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. It looks like the rule is to multiply by 2. Okay, so the next 3 terms would be 8 times 2 is 16, times 2 is 32, times 2 is 64. Okay. And M, let me go ahead and change colors. The rule of a certain sequence is this. Don't let this scare you. This is just math. Okay. Find the first 4 terms. So when it asks for the first 4 terms, we're going to plug in n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. This tells us what we're going to plug into right there. For example, k is equal to 2 times 1 minus 1, which is 2 minus 1, which is 1. So when n is 1, k is 1. Okay, so let's plug, so we did 1, let's do 2. K is equal to 2 times 2, and I'm using this formula right here, minus 1, which is 4 minus 1, which is 3. So when n is 2, k is 3. Okay, hopefully this is making a semblance of sense. We're going to do 3 and 4, so I'm just plugging in my n right there. So 2 times 3 minus 1, so 2 times 3 is 6, minus 1 is 5, so when this is n, right? So when n is 3, k is 5, and then my last one, 2 times 4 minus 1, which is 8, minus 1, which is 7. So when my n is 4, my k is 7. Okay, and that's the last one we have for our practice set for lesson 4. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have a great day.